What's up guys, I'm Nick and this is Build Dad Build. Hey, at least it's not a laser. That's right guys, the folks at SainSmart saw my laser videos and they reached out and said, hey, want to check out a CNC? Woohoo! So today we're gonna open this bad boy up and put it together. Here's the catch. I know nothing about CNCs. I know how they work in theory. So let's try not to f this up, okay? So what we have here is the Genmitsu 3018 Prover. And from what I understand, the dimensions of the bed are kind of small, so I asked them about that and they sent me, I think this is the 3040, it's an extension bed for it. So, you know, let's add on to stuff that I don't know how to put together. Woo! Kobe, too soon? All right, as I do with everything, I'm just gonna crack the box open and go to town. So they used to call me back in college, the go to town clown. They didn't call me that. Oh, woo! Let's see, unboxing. What do we got? Holy crap. This is like 38 pages of instructions. I don't do good with like 5. Okay, so the first thing is, I'm pretty sure I have to take this back apart. If I put this whole thing together first and then come in for the expansion pack, let's call it that. The expansion guide, the
Y-axis expansion.
If I come back in for that, I think I'm gonna have to take it all apart again. So, still not having any idea what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna dismantle the base, because it says disconnect and remove all wires connecting to the base of your CNC. This is for the expansion. And then unscrew the gantry. And then take apart the frame. So I think we're gonna start with taking apart the frame, right? That makes sense. Yes? How I get through this stuff when I don't know what I'm doing is I try to take as little apart before I reassemble as possible. So what I did is just took that back piece off. I know that these extensions are all gonna go on there. They all match the other pieces, so I'm gonna put those back on before I take anything else off of the front end of this. That's how my brain works. Also, it keeps me from having just like a pile of parts and not having any idea what to do with them. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see if I can get better light. This second nut in there that I need to get out with the Allen wrench, look at this. Like I can barely get in there. So that's what I'm fiddling with. I know it's kind of hard to see, but just know that this thing's kind of feels a little buried in there. Okay, the instructions say that you do not need to remove the stepper motor, but I'm at a loss. This is the only way I can get into that other set screw, so I took it off. Whoa. Okay, so just an update here. This set screw doesn't have to come out. This only goes halfway in. So I just misread the instructions, but this I had to spray some WD-40 on. I could not get this to come out of here at all. It was in there good. So this really doesn't have to come off of the back plate. Okay, and on that note, this booger's reassembled, and now it's just longer. But I'm really wondering, I saw these. And this one, these little nuts, I wonder if those are gonna come into play later, because I didn't read anything about them in the literature for putting the new plate on. This is with the base still laying face down. I installed this limit switch right here, 2 cable ties, and then kind of the same thing over here at the front end next to the stepper motor. Limit switch, 2 cable ties, or 2 cable holders, I guess, and then the 2 cable holders on the front, well, I guess on the front side of where the stepper motor is. Now it is time for Das Boot. or the feet. These are pretty, oh, hold on. See if I can find the right Allen wrench for them. These just screw right into the frame. So off camera, I just forgot to film this. These guys were in the old tracks and you need them. So I had to pull those out, disconnect these arms and slide those in there. They just clip back in there. I'm telling you, man, if you like doing this stuff, you gotta like puzzles. So we've got this little piece of acrylic here. What you wanna do is use it to set where these go. There we go. All right. I highly suggest following the wiring diagram for this because I don't know if I'm doing this right. Just saying. It's outlined in here. It's a little unclear. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we are. Moment of truth, I'm gonna turn it on. We have a light and it beeped. Okay, so now let's see if we can move the axes. I know I don't have an SD card, but I should still be able to move this, right? Ooh, that's fancy. See, that's one thing I'm concerned about. This Y limit cable is super short now that I put the extension on, and it's tight right there. And it doesn't have any access, and actually the thing's pinching it a little bit. Ooh. Okay. Y works. X does not work. Let's try something real quick. Okay. And I know I have a rat's nest back here, guys, but I'm not sure what's gonna go where yet, so I don't wanna mess with it. Okay. Tell you the truth, I don't know. So I think it's assembled correctly, but now I'm gonna have to learn how to use it. So I think we're gonna call it for today, figure out, maybe jump into the software and stuff like that and see what we can do. Cool? Cool.
Tomorrow for sure.
Okay, it is tomorrow. I was watching some videos yesterday and this morning, and one thing I didn't take into consideration, I did find it in the literature upon second inspection, I must have missed it when I was reading, is that the gantry in this new configuration, this whole thing needs to move ahead. I can't remember how many millimeters, but it's about 4 3/4 inches from the back of the frame. So we're gonna do that right now and see if that solves some of our Y limit wiring issue. I did contact SainSmart and they did say that they were gonna send out some longer cabling. So if that doesn't work, I'll just be waiting for that cabling. But let's see if we can get this booger going. All right, right, so we've cleaned up some wires back here. Just kind of put one of those little wire sleeves on, one of these guys. I don't even know how to mess with those because those will go different places, but we have progress. Okay, so we go into here and we go here, and then we go, let's see, let's go X. Oh wait, hold on, let's step it up. If you hit this, it steps it from 1 to 10 to 100 if you see it up there. Okay, now watch, if I hit X plus, woo, it's moving, baby. So we have motion. We have motion in the ocean. Okay, this stuff is supposed to fit inside these tracks. I cannot get it to fit in there. So if you see up here, I have some handy dandy duct tape there, and I have some duct tape here. I really don't want to mess with this one because that's the one that I have to replace. See how tight that is? And I'm still afraid if this thing goes all the way back and catches on it, it'll snap it. So I'm waiting for that new cable to come in, but let us play. Okay, I've been playing around an easel. The spindle is running. I think everything's right, man. I'm so nervous. I don't want to hit the button. Let's do this, and hopefully we don't destroy anything in the process. I will be very close to this button right here, just in case. Okay, first pass is done, and this is what we're looking at. Let me turn you around. So I'm gonna guess that it's not doing anything. So this is 1/8 of an inch bit. I'm gonna guess that it's not doing anything smaller than that. So we're gonna change bits out and see what we got. Okay, so I accidentally reset the whole thing when I was just trying to reset the machine to do another carve. So we're doing a new carve, 1/16 of an inch bit, not as deep. Hopefully this won't take as long, and we'll get our whole image. Missed it by that much. I just grabbed another scrap piece and I thought it was wide enough. Apparently it was not. The carve looks good though. Nice. All right, it is a day later again, kids. It's a day later again. Reason being is because the final carve that I set up was gonna take like 3 hours to go. I probably could have run it faster, but I snapped a thinner bit a little earlier, so I didn't want to push it. So this will be the first time seeing this carve. Like, as you can see, I haven't even removed the sawdust yet. So we were gonna see this thing together. All right, guys, and before we get to the final product, the product of my hard work, the fruit of my loins. I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And an extra special thanks goes out to all of my patrons. They are the magic behind the scenes. They're the ones that provide me with the opportunity to get these fun toys to review for you guys. So thank you, patron saints of whiskey, especially my top tier patrons or my Boilermaker patrons. Stephen Mann, Eric Weiss, Derek Coates, Chuck Faulkner, Puffy Muffins, Zach Z, Jim Carter, and Andy the Viking. Here's to you. Nice. So I gotta say, not too bad for kind of a first, well, I guess a third draft, but this is a different carve. So the first time I'm carving this thing. It is super windy outside too, guys, so I apologize for that. But it looks pretty good. I didn't have a setting for this type of bit, this V-carve bit. So I said that it was 1/8 of an inch. So I think that's the reason you see a little bit of kind of sloppy areas here, like my teeth didn't kind of translate very well. But all in all, man, I mean, that's pretty good. I dig it. Very cool. Okay guys, so first impressions of the Genmitsu 3018 Prover. It is It is a fancy little device. I think for like smaller pieces, and if you're kind of a hobbyist, I think somebody even commented something about doing pine wood derby cars on it. I think this is a perfect intro CNC for you. Assembly was pretty straightforward. Aside from my set screw debacle, just know that you only have to remove the 2 front ones, and you really do not have to take the stepper motor off, just like the instructions say. I also think that it was a little unclear that when you move the extension kit, you have to move the whole gantry forward. But I did find, it says it kind of right here, it says it on the final assembly. It just doesn't quite, I think it's worded incorrectly, because it says, let's see, the difference is rather than having the gantry spaced 46.5 millimeters from the rear of the frame, you're now going to want to move it more forward in order to take advantage of the expanded y-axis. So it kind of gives you an arbitrary location. Whereas, like I said, I watched a video where they had kind of a more specific amount that they moved it forward, which was like 4.75 inches. And speaking of videos that I watched when I was putting this thing together, I'm gonna give a special shout out to James Dean Designs, TechyDIY, and DE Hammer. I will link to all of their channels down below. They're the guys who I watched when I was putting this thing together to kind of figure out all the ins and outs. TechyDIY has a great assembly video. These guys all have a whole lot of information. I suggest going and checking them out. But first thoughts, easy to assemble. Once I got it, the frame tightened up, it was really loud in the beginning. I didn't have all of the screws fully tightened. As soon as I did that and I removed a metal ruler from underneath, it quieted down. And I don't know about candle. I tried to work in there a little bit. I didn't quite understand it, so I did move over to easel, which I found much easier to work with. Everything that I've seen says easel is free. When I went to Inventable's website, you can use it for 30 days for free, and then there is a price associated with it. If there's a free software out there that you guys know of that's any good, let me know in the comments down below. But the biggest issue I've had with this, and I don't know if this is supposed to be like this or there's a way around it. If you know, let me know. Anytime this thing hits a limit switch, I have to disconnect it from the computer. I have to put the offline module on it, and I have to go reset it manually. If I try to reset it from the software, it doesn't work. So I don't know if that's like an easel thing or what, but it's really annoying when you accidentally send it over and it hits a limit switch, stops, and then you have to stop what you're doing, unplug the computer, plug the other thing back in, flip through the thing, hit the button to reset it. So if anybody knows a way around that, please let me know. That being said, I love my new toy. Let me know what you want me to carve next. It looks like this is going to be like more of a marathon, less of a sprint in the learning curve for this thing. So give me some ideas. I have some things to mess around with and things to make TikToks about or something or another. I don't know. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Now, woosah. Thanks for playing. Now it's time to get to work. What the hell's wrong with that? Push it nice and slow. That's the way we like it. Okay, right there. And paint some happy trees. Some happy little trees. Fucking nut job, right? Nasty.